Tim with Engadget, and we are happy to bring you the ASUS ePad Transformer Prime. It's a bit of a long name, but you can simply call it the best Android tablet on the market at this point. It is narrowly edging out the Galaxy Tab 10.1 and 8.9 in terms of performance, battery life, and even design. It's thinner, lighter. It's simply a very nice tablet. Let's get you a quick walkthrough of the device itself. Up front here we have a 10-inch Super IPS Plus display, which offers 600 nits of brightness, which is about the highest that we've seen on a tablet, although in real life it doesn't really seem that much brighter than comparable tablets, say the iPad 2 or the Galaxy Tab 10.1. It is noticeably brighter, and we do find that the contrast is very good, especially off-viewing contrast is very, very good. You can get up to 178 degrees without really losing much contrast at all. So that is definitely an impressive step forward. We'll flip it over, and so you can take a look at the design. You can see the spun aluminum design, which is very similar to the ASUS ZenBooks as well, the other Ultrabooks from the company. It's a bit of a design styling exercise here, but it does look quite nice, and we've also found it to be quite durable. It's not as prone to scratching as the aluminum on the iPad, and it certainly feels a bit more sturdy than the plastic that we see on the 10.1. Now on the bottom we have a proprietary connector for charging and for data exchange, and there are also two ports on one side and on the other here for locking this into the dock, which we will show you in just a moment. On this side is the 3.5mm headphone jack. Here we have an 8-megapixel camera with an LED flash. On this side we have a volume rocker and a micro HDMI port, and finally a micro SD slot for easily expanding storage, which is certainly a nice thing. This tablet comes with 32 gigs of storage built in, which is quite nice, but if you want more, it's very easy to do with the micro SD expansion. Let's go for just a quick walk through. The software here is Honeycomb, as you can see, so we're not looking at ice cream sandwich just yet, but ASUS has promised that that will be coming. There are some minor customizations to look at. As you can see, we've got some settings here. You can change the performance of the tablet here. If you want to save battery life, you can very easily toggle Bluetooth on and off, Wi-Fi on and off, and adjust the brightness. We'll go ahead and pop this into Super IPS Plus mode. You can see that bumps up the brightness a little bit there and makes things look a little bit nicer. Now we'll go into the task selector here, and you can see now you've got an X, so you can do some task management here if you like, but again, not a lot of customization. This is pretty minimal in terms of customization, pretty similar to the TouchWiz customizations that we see on the Samsung devices, but minus the little quick shortcut for the applications that Samsung is delivering. Let's go ahead and give a quick idea of performance. Load up the browser. Now this is the Tegra 3 chipset, the first quad-core processor in a tablet that we've seen, and the performance is quite good. Benchmark scores are about the highest on average that we've seen of any tablet, and overall responsiveness is quite good as well, but it's not exactly in a different league compared to something like the 10.1 or other tablets that we've seen in the past. It is quick, but it's not going to really blow you away. Now the page is loading here. The flash is coming in, which is what's taking a little bit of time, but once loaded, things are very quick and responsive. Pinch to zoom, and browsing is definitely a pleasure on this device. Benchmarking scores for SunSpider were quite good here, and overall, if you're looking to do web browsing, I think you'll be quite happy with this device. But of course, performance is not the only thing that is interesting about the Transformer Prime. It's this dock that makes it very interesting. This is the keyboard dock, which is a $150 extra, and it comes with its own battery built in. So if you take the Prime, slot it in like thus, it actually starts to recharge the tablet as it's plugged in here. So if you have both batteries fully charged, you're not going to quite double the battery life, but ASUS does promise that you'll get about 6 hours of extra battery life by using this dock. That's on top of the 10 to 12 hours that you can get from the tablet itself, which is of course quite healthy. The keys, as you can see, are an island or chiclet based design, but they are fairly small, and it's a bit of a cramped typing experience, something like a smaller netbook if you are familiar with that kind of thing. The springiness of the keys is a bit light, but overall the feel is not too bad. The touchpad here is very small. It does support multi-touch gestures, which is nice. And down here you can click left or right if you like, or you can just simply tap, which is we found to be much nicer. The biggest issue we had with the touchpad is that it does not deactivate when you're typing. It is very easy to accidentally brush it as you're typing away on the keyboard, which causes the cursor to move and can cause all sorts of headaches if you are trying to write on here, which in theory you would be doing. So $150 extra for this, which turns it into basically a nice little laptop, a very small laptop as it were, with very good battery life and very light weight as well, so it's very easy to take with you, and certainly a much nicer alternative than a netbook these days for not a whole lot extra money. To unleash that, you slide that to the side, and there you go, you're back to having a tablet again. So again, we think this is the best Android tablet on the market at this point. In terms of performance, battery life, design, it is certainly outpacing the Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1 and the 8.9. And at $500 for 32 gigs, it's pretty good value too. So again, this is the ASUS ePad Transformer Prime, and we would definitely give it our mark of recommendation.